time to dive into the next chapter of the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. It's the quarterfinals. Knockout stages na po tayo, so no room for error for these teams who remain in the hunt for a championship in the preseason in 2019. The battle that's on hand right now, the San Beda Red Lions going up against the Far Eastern University Tamaraws. We know that these two teams are powerhouses in their own rights in the collegiate scene. They will test each other today. No tomorrow for one team. John Sulit kasama po Juan Banal to bring you the action today.
Very interesting matchup. You've got on the other side, you've got San Beda Red Lions trying to find a new hero who's going to step up and fill in the big shoes of those big guns that left them. But on the other side, you've got the FEU Tamaraws trying to figure out which system will work. Will Coach Olsen's system actually finally prevail? Pareha sila, iba ang pakay nila, but they're on for one reason alone, and that's to move on to the finals.
You know, how they got here in the quarterfinals is sort of different stories. Then we'll take a look at the playoff bracket right now. San Beda was actually the top team. 7-0 ang kanilang kartada heading into the quarterfinals. They topped Group A. Yun namang kabila in FEU, they were actually fourth, barely making it, but doing just enough to get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, parehas na kupunan yung FEU nga dun sa kabilang bracket kasi almost had the similar standing with the other teams. Dikit-dikit sila, unlike San Beda, definitely stood out in their own bracket, sweeping that whole eliminations with a 7-0 record. So the confidence that they bring into this quarterfinals is coming from different places.
Well, let's also take a look at the numbers that these two teams averaged in the elimination round. You see na hindi naman nagkakalayo. Siguro it's in the second chance points that you'll really see a stark difference.
Yeah, the second chance points for San Beda, they have 12.1 as an average, samantalang ang FEU 6.6. But you have to take a look at also the second chance points allowed. Itong FEU is trying to limit their opponents to just 7.4 second chance points per game. Samantalang ang San Beda naman 8. That means the key will be in the shaded area. I think that's where the tough battle that we will be witnessing in this afternoon's match.
And of course, FEU will enter this match, trying to overcome the still undefeated San Beda Red Lions. And the third member of our panel, Miss Ira Pablo, has more on the Tamaraws.
Guys, Coach Olsen gave me one word about their game against San Beda today, and that is payback. Dahil nung huling nakalaban daw nila ang San Beda ay tinambakan daw sila sa D-League. So right now, they really want to prove themselves, they want to redeem themselves, and they really want to get a win today. Now, this game is more than just that. It's also a gauge as to where they are in terms of their progress. Dahil even though this is an NCAA team, they are going against NCAA champions. Kaya ibang usapan na daw yun. So it's really going to be a test for the FEU Tamaraws today, Jot and Juan.
Thank you very much, Ira. That's great insight, and of course, dito nga sa preseason, while you're also going for the championship, dito mo talaga susukat gaano ka na makahanda para dun sa mga tournament na gusto mo nga, you want to top in the next few months. And if you're the FEU Tamaraws, you like what you're seeing in two of the gunners that you expect to play a big role moving forward.
It's interesting, itong dalawang big, the guards of the guards connection, si Kani Comboy ng FEU. Papansin niyo yung kanilang points per game, 8.7 tsaka 9.0. Again, these are the number 1 and number 2 local top local providers for FEU, and that says a lot about the team. You've got so many big names in their current lineup, but nobody really standing out because that's how equally they share the ball, that's how equally they contribute. Ganun po ang sistema nito ni Coach Olsen Racel.
It actually reminds me a lot of how San Beda actually is as a team as well. Meron silang mga aangat ngayon in Tangkua, in Quecote, but generally San Beda has always been a team that relies on equal firepower, mapa first unit, second unit. And speaking of Tangkua, let's take a look at his matchup with another Cameroonian. Cameroonian po mag-aarap ngayon in Donald Tangkua and Patrick Chuente.
And interesting, ito si Donald Tangkua. He has been in the lineup for quite some time, has been acclimatized already to that of how it is to play basketball here. Samantala to si Patrick Chuente, still feeling his role in the FEU lineup. You can see that Donald Tangkua has definitely mastered that matchup, but they also play different kinds of basketball. Itong si Donald Tangkua has got quick but strong upper body. Samantalang si Chuente naman, very tall and slender and agile for his height.
Absolutely, and more than these imports, syempre mahalaga yung magiging contribution ng mga locals. And if we're talking about locals for these two teams, ang dami natin mga kailangan pag-usapan because these two teams really have talented lineups. But four guys who will put on the spotlight in this matchup, James Quecote, Clint Doliges para sa San Beda. Para naman sa FEU, Ken Tuffin and LJ Gonzalez.
Nakakatakot itong apat na pangalan na binanggit mo dyan. Pagka uminit sa 3 points, baka magkaroon tayo ng shootout contest between Quecote Doliges. On the other side, you've got Tuffin, who actually won our All-Star 3-point challenge together with this speedy guard in LJ Gonzalez.
LJ Gonzalez for a long time in his career, suspect yung kanyang outside shot, but he worked on it well enough para maging factor dito. Ken Tuffin, also a key figure in the FEU Tamaraws, will they be able to take down the still undefeated San Beda Red Lions here in the quarterfinals? Malalaman nating lahat actually the tip-off when we return.
A very good afternoon. The playoff continues on the 13th Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. It's a San Beda University Red Lions versus FEU Tamaraws here at the Flying V Center in San Juan. And now let's make way for the starting five for both teams. First, the San Beda University Red Lions. One guard number 3, Evan Nelly. Center number 10, Donald Tancua. Forward number 11, Clint Doliges. Also at forward number 12, Jimmy Bayo. Starting at guard number 15, James Quecote. San Beda University Red Lions is led by Boyet Fernandez. Here comes the starting five of the FEU Tamaraws. At power forward number 8, Barkley Ebonia. At guard number 18, Hubert Kenny. Starting at forward number 20, Ken Tuffin. Starting at guard number 21, Wendell Comboy. And at center number 35, Patrick Chuente. FEU Tamaraws head coach is Olsen Rasela. Referees for this ball game are Rico Guaron, Anthony Roque,
And so we
Harry
begin the quarterfinals of the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. The starting lineups on your screens for both teams: Nelly, Quecote, Tancua, Doliges, and Bahio for San Beda. And on the other side for FEU, you have Cani, Comboy, Chuente, Tuffin, and Ebonia.
No one pulling their punches in this match, Judd.
Absolutely.
That's probably on paper their both strongest lineup. And so you know that now that they're in their quarterfinals, wala nang timplahan. Ito na po yun. All out sila and they're gonna go starting strong.
Tsaka ang maganda dito for both teams, no? Yes, they may be starting with their strongest five, pero pag titignan mo yung bench, ang dami pa mga weapon on both ends.
Yan yung kagandahan ng preseason kasi napalalim nila yung bench by making sure that they're mixing and matching, using other players and starting them and building their confidence all throughout the eliminations. Kaya pagtapak natin dito sa ating next round, ang tataas ng kumpiyansa like that shot by Evan Nelly.
The connection of the Bandana brothers. Quecote sending it out to Nelly. Ay, pasok yung kanyang tres for the first basket of this game. You see the intensity that these two teams are playing with. You really know it's playoff basketball.
And if you're San Beda, you want to keep that record clean. Samantala itong FEU, they have a score to settle. Sinabi nga ni Coach Olsen Rasela, tinambangan daw sila dun sa isang kanilang tournament. And they want to get that win back.
Mabigat yun, na yung motivation mo is payback. You're looking for revenge. However, it's San Beda putting on the pressure on FEU with back-to-back hits to open the game up.
It's always a good sign if Evan Nelly opens your game with an outside shot. He's not known for his outside outside shooting. He's more of a facilitator. But if he opens that your game that way, then alam mo nga San Beda will definitely open fire.
Here's Tuffin going one-on-one contra kay Doliges. 5 on the shot clock. Ken Tuffin forcing the issue and that side, but he gets the basket. He had every right to take that ball and put that shot up.
And you can see Clint Doliges jogging down the floor with a grin on his face like nakaisa ka dun. I had you actually cornered. But Ken Tuffin being our three-point champion, making that outside shot.
Hey, remember when we highlighted Quecote and Doliges as the three-point shooters of San Beda? Well, they have one each already very early in this game.
Interesting. They really won't pull. They're going to take those shots regardless if there's a hand on their face.
Doliges, the hesitation. Tuffin staying in front of him. Bahio tumangga. JB aatake. Iwan sana kay Nelly. Napunta kay Quecote. First miss para sa San Beda. Ebonia, you know that he's not their ball handler. Pero naipit. And it's the pressure defense one of San Beda na nagdidikta very early in this game.
And they're really shooting and forcing itong FEU to play better defense. They've been getting better outside shots. They've been moving the ball. Samantalang ito, syempre si Ebonia, mataas yung kumpiyansa niya. He came from the 3x3 battle. And breaking down the ball, not a good idea. Not something that we'd recommend, but ganun yung kumpiyansa niya ngayon.
Better than there. It's a turnover again for Barkley. Ebonia. Quecote laying it off. It's a 10-2 start for San Beda.
FEU, parang nabigla sila dito sa pagbulusok ng San Beda, catching them flat-footed. San Beda doing a good job pressing on their offense. One and done para dito sa FEU.
Here's Doliges. Binigay kay Takua sa ilalim. Takua looking for options. They swing it. Doliges, kinarga that layup. It's a miss for him. Oh, almost a turnover. A little bit careless FEU, but it's also because of the pressure of San Beda.
Parang wala silang energy. Hindi nila masabayan yung intensity ng San Beda. Look how good they're rotating on defense.
Chuente.
See, active hands.
Yeah, very good hands as well for San Beda. And they're not necessarily going for the steal one. They're just going for the disruption of the offense. And eventually, minsan, syempre, nag-lead into steals.
And yun yung sinasabi ko na parang ang lambot ng simula ng FEU kasi naka-expose lang ng ganun yung bola. And San Beda, like, if you're gonna show it in front of me, I'm gonna definitely have that ball.
Kani, Nelly in front of him, the switch. They go to the corner, dumping it down low. Chuente, natapikan. Canlas takes the ball away. Nelly, that's the facilitating that you were talking about. Quecote, bibitaw. A three-pointer. You know, earlier it was just a long two. Now that's a three-pointer, and James Canlas Quecote has 7 of the 13 points of the San Beda Red Lions. Doliges with a beautiful kick out, understanding that's a shot. Kayang-kaya ni Quecote. It's a 13-2 lead for San Beda early in this game. You know, there was a big shakeup entering the quarterfinals here in the Filoil Flying V Preseason tournament because UP actually finished as the second in Group A with a 5-2 record, but they had to back out because of a training schedule that they had already committed before they joined the Filoil tournament.
It is interesting now, but again, UP should have been here, and I think that paved the way for CEU to actually be part of the quarterfinal roster.
Kaya lang, kanina natanggal na
Medyo
rin.
natanggal na rin sila, but iba na rin ang journey ng CEU na pinagdaanan nila, and hats off to their team, just sticking it out and just battling out whatever tournament they're part of.
Pero matindi rin ang pinagdadaanan ng FEU ngayon because San Beda won't miss.
Yeah, it's interesting, John. I was noticing San Beda is moving the ball so well. They're bringing the ball inside and out. Samantalang itong FEU, pansinin mo, hindi nila mapasok yung ball. It's always been outside the three-point line, and they're forced to take shots that are lower in terms of percentage.
And that's why, barely halfway through the first quarter, 4 na tao na pinalitan agad.
Yeah.
Ni Coach Olsen Racela, ang naiwan na lang si Patrick Chuente. Kung yun naman, pumasok pa talaga.
Talagang swerte na talaga. 4 na yung defenders ng FEU na nakababa. And I think that's important. The speed of the lineup on the floor right now. Gonzalez is there. Stockton is there now. Mukhang hindi happy si Coach Olsen dun sa pinakita nilang depensa with his original starting 5.
And now, more changes for their lineup. Homeboy is taken out. Nunag checks in for them.
Ganun kalalim yung bench ng FEU, no? Parang pang starting 5 din tong next second 5 nila eh.
No, actually, they do start with this unit sometimes. So that really is, how balanced the FEU roster is. But right now, they are down by 13. Nelly, jumper, wet.
We rarely see him take those jumpers because nga mas first point guard siya eh. But now, yun yung nagagawa ng mga preseason. Biglang umuusbong yung mga ganitong klaseng kumpiyansa.
And you know what? When your entire team is flowing and it is a rhythm, is in rhythm, ang dali rin bumitaw na mga jumper na ganyan eh.
Agree. And ganito na yung naimbak mong lamang, di pa kahit magbintis ka, okay lang. Lamang naman kayo. So the risk-taking is higher. And Nele, again, samahan mo pa ng magandang kumpiyansa. So far, I think he's got 5 points in the ball game, Nele.
He hit a three-pointer earlier to open things up. Quickote, step back Shea. At that time, Nunag kumuha na rebound. He's running. And yet again, a turnover for FEU.
They don't have the numbers in that fast break attack. Nunag, though, is a good finisher in the open court. Unfortunately, mas maganda yung pinakitang transition defense ng San Beda.
There was a foul away from the play. It looks like Chuente. Oh no, that's Bienes trying to deny Tankua that time. The foul is on Brandrey Bienes.
Kanina, I thought, with Coach Olsen Racela starting si Barkley Ibonia, he was more defensive-minded with that lineup. Because nga ito si Bienes is actually their starting power forward who is a better scorer than Ibonia. But parang mas kinain sila sa opensa at walang masyadong depensa. So now that shift, maybe they have to fight firepower with firepower.
I guess when 17 points na yung kalaban, ikaw 2 pa lang, you really need some source of offense.
In the turnover story, Judd, 5-0 in favor of San Beda. 5 na ang turnovers ng FEU. Wala pa turnover ang San Beda.
And look at that. We just talked about what Ray Bienes can provide. He gets a three-pointer. Only the second field goal of FEU. Nelly, pupunta sa ilalim. Tankua backing down. Doliges tumanggap, and that's going to be a traveling violation.
And you like the activity now ng depensa dito ng FEU. Stockton trying to help out there with Donald Tankua. He is a marked man. But don't look now. Ito naman si Oftana coming off the bench for Bayo. Totoo yung sinabi mo dyan. I cannot emphasize more how deep the benches of both teams are. Parang kapasok ng tao, parang, pwede starting 5 din yan.
Itong si Calvin Oftana, really one of the up-and-coming forwards for San Beda, has proven so much, not only here, but also in the PBA D-League.
And he reminds me a lot of a Troy Rosario, no?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good comparison. Penuela leading the break para sa San Beda. Iwan kay Oftana, couldn't get past Chuente, nasapal siya doon. Here's Gonzalez, wanting to test the young guard of San Beda, but they will look for a different point of attack. Oh, look at that. Just great denial mula kay Soberano. And AC Soberano setting up the play. San Beda still up by 12. Penuela goes to Oftana. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Soberano, the handoff to Doliges. lots of action happening outside the three-point arc.
And the good exterior defense by FEU, just making sure that somebody's in front.
Look at that play! LJ Gonzalez working his magic.
He just, I don't know how he blurred himself to the shaded area and still get that shot off. Take a look at this replay. Bam!
A very tight crossover.
Oh.
And then, what? Off the crossover, bigla na lang umangat for para siyang underhand floater.
And it
that's
is
why
an awkward shot because how can you finger roll that high of a boarded shot? Sa gitna ka nang galing, ha?
well, let's take this time to turn it over to Ira.
Jotten, let's talk about San Beda for a while. You mentioned the numbers earlier, and for Coach Boyet Fernandez, importante talaga sa kanila that they limit the offensive output of FEU today. As much as possible, they really want to keep these numbers low. But their overall outlook here in the preseason cup is just going for the experience dahil puro rookies daw itong San Beda. So Coach Boyet chooses improvement over a win. Bonus na lang daw kung manalo sila, guys.
Well, ang dami ng bonus nung kasi 7 panalo na, wala pang
Parang
talo.
hindi ko napansin na rookie sila na 7-0 ang kanilang lineup, ang kanilang standing.
Thank you, Ira, for that report. Well, you know, Coach Boyd Fernandez, the thing about San Beda, one, is that even when they're a bit like, oh, Stockton with the carry with the jelly. How beautiful was that?
Anyway, that's the second transition offense that is successful for FEU. They make good stops and then they run on the other side.
Oh, scary fall there for Alex Stockton. Got his legs taken from under him.
But that says a lot about the aggressiveness of the second five of FEU on the floor. They turned it up a notch.
Nakahawak siya dun sa wrist niya and we're just hoping he's okay. He will really be shaken up. Tingnan mo yung mangyayari sa kanya. He will try to strip that basketball away. Pero yung lakas din kasi ni Tangkua.
Oh.
Masisipa niya pa nga si Oftana on the head. It was a scary fall. Stockton he's not yet up on his feet, pero at least di na siya naka-crumple on the floor.
But this is the intensity of this next round, the quarterfinals. And like what we said, they're not pulling any punches. They're going all out. Stockton with that attempt to swipe from Tangkua, but just the strength of Tangkua just carried him over.
Here's the thing about the preseason tournament, and all preseason tournaments actually, itong mga players, syempre nag-iingat because they know they are preparing for something bigger. Pero pag nakaabot ka na kasi once sa quarterfinals, hindi mo na mapigilan eh. Kasi ang lapit mo na doon sa championship.
That's
so
true.
what else are you gonna do? You're gonna pour it all you've got.
True. And you have to understand, they're not playing against a team that they usually meet in their main tournaments. They're playing, and there's a pride to settle because you're playing against a top caliber from the other tournament, and you want to make a statement to the people in your tournament saying, if we can beat the top guns from the other side, we can beat the guys here.
Ebonya recalibrating nung nilabas siya, and he's now able to contribute on the offensive end. Benuela pinapahirapan ni Gonzalez.
You know, in the All-Star, Judd, I failed to see itong si LJ Gonzalez and si Mark Nonoy together. I was hoping and praying na magkaroon ng ganung matchup. Nonoy and it was the All-Star. So, UAP versus NCAA, Nonoy and Gonzalez could have been great against the Marcelino twins.
That would have been fun to watch, no? Ang gawin mo doon, tanggalan mo na ng bola, tumakbo na lang kayo, pabilisan na lang kayo.
Relay na lang sila, no? But 10-0 run in favor of FEU.
And that's broken by that free throw from Tangkua. But it has been a while since the last field goal of San Beda. And naramdaman natin, no, sumikip din talaga yung depensa ng FEU. That's why I remember when there was a play na hindi man napasok ng San Beda yung bola sa ilalim. They were just moving around outside the three-point arc.
And it's like there's no pressure whatsoever that the first five of FEU gave. But now with Gonzalez and etong si Nunag, they're actually pressuring the on-ball carrier, which makes it harder for San Beda to set up their plays.
Actually, Coach Olsen opting to go all Filipino right now. Pinalitan niya si Chuente with Ebonya, and so far so good for them. Cyrus Torres, the rookie, also in the game. Binaban na yan si Soberano. San Beda looking for options. Shot clock is off. Last 4 seconds of the first quarter. AC Soberano Gets the defender up on the fake, but will not get the shot. And so after falling behind by 15 points early, FEU going on a run para makabalik. They are just now down by 7 points.
Very interesting shift in turn of events. They started out the game with a very hot San Pedro Red Lions firing from all cylinder, from all players all over the floor. And then as soon as Coach Austin Rosella realized the urgency, he made that shift, and then FEU now making their own runs.
Pinaikot lang ni Coach Olsen yung mga tao niya, and then FEU went on a 10-0 run, but it was still San Beda in control at the end of the first quarter. 19-12 is their lead. Here are some of the results of the earlier games dito rin sa quarterfinals ng Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. It was LPU defeating CEU by 7 points, 76-69. And then yung earlier game natin, Adamson getting past San Sebastian, yeah. In a big blowout actually. So dalawang teams na lang hinahanap natin. Of course, one will be either FEU or San Beda, and then we have another game later on. It's going to be De La Salle going up against Letran. Cyrus Torres looking for Celso. Torres. Oh, they go inside. Nice two-man game between those two.
Also an undersized big for FEU, but finding a way. They're very quick on his feet. That release was very well timed.
And there is a foul away from the play as Torres was trying to deny Soberano. Kemar Carino. Papalitan si Soberano. San Beda now going taller with their lineup. So wala ka mang Donald Tangkua, you still have Ebonia taking the steal. I was just about to mention Carino's name, pero mahirap din siguro. He wasn't that ready coming off the bench, maybe.
Kailangan mag-ingat ka rin kung ikaw yung passer. No, Barkley Ebonia was actually just lurking and trying to time that swipe. But katulad niya na sinabi mo, parang nilabas muna ni Coach Olsen Rosella, parang ginising niya muna ng konti ito si Barkley, tapos binalik niya ulit. Immediate contribution for him.
Sometimes makikita mo yung mga coaches gawin yun, na parang maybe if a player is out of control or is
nadadala
gassed up already, labas lang, kahit isang play lang, just to make sure na you're still...
gather yourself first,
exactly.
And then babalik rin kita, relax ka lang muna.
Alam naman natin ang basketball, it's played with a lot of emotion So minsan mahirap din mag-control talaga.
That's true.
Good box out for Tuffin, pero Carino pa rin nakapulot ng bola. 10 seconds on the shot clock for San Beda. Penuela wanting to go to Carino. Another steal for Ebonia.
I think they're expecting a little bit too much from Carino. The passes that they're trying to throw, it's something that he won't normally be able to catch. He's a better post-up player, but for him to throw him those kinds of passes, you're setting him up for failure.
Barkley Ebonia has really shown great improvement over the last couple of years. And I think he really was helped by his experience in the PBA D-League.
And ang dami din, journeyman din siya sa D-League, no? Dami din dyan pinaglaruan ng mga kuponan. But I mean, for you to be consistent in the D-League, alam na may marka ka na dun sa tournament natin dun.
Torres, 5 on the shot clock. Punta kay Bienes. Does he know? He has to put it up. But even before he got a shot at them, tumalbog na sa linya yung bola. That's out of bounds. Bola pupunta sa San Beda.
And you know what is the rotation of Coach Olsen Racela? Bihira ka makakita ng isang manlalaro na tumatagal ng mga 5 minuto. Kadalasan 3 or 4 minutes, and then they switch up. So there's always fresh legs, and that says a lot about how deep the lineup is, that you're able to sustain a certain level of excellence and competency because of the kind of people that you bring in.
Pero you know, ito nga player ng FEU kanina si Stockton nasaktan, and may balita si Ira for us.
Guys, an update on Alex Stockton. Natukod daw niya yung kanang kamay niya when he landed. That's why he felt, he was complaining about pain in his right wrist. So nilagyan niya na ng ice agad, but he can return to the ball game. Now, during the huddle kanina earlier with FEU Tamaraws, they just emphasized their defense, and they specifically with the Celso Noah matchup, they told him to just give him space and allow him to challenge Noah's attacks, gentlemen.
It's quite a pinpoint in terms of approach to this game. Talagang si Noah ang nakitang liability ng FEU against San Beda, John.
Well, just going back to Stockton, no? Ang bilis inais because he was already back in the game. And he seems okay. Nilagyan din ng tape yung kanyang right wrist just for protection.
Alam mo, ikaw ba dyan? Alam ko, ikaw naglalaro ka. Ganyan ka ba kabilis mag-recover din pagka...
2 weeks. Yung ganyan nangyari sa akin.
Yung mga ganyang bagsak.
Out for 2
Pati
weeks
ulo
ako
ko
doon.
yata i-ice para lang maging okay.
Siya, ano lang, in 2 minutes, okay na eh. Abuda, swinging that basketball. Penuela will receive this pick from Noah. Pero sabi ni Penuela, wag na lang. Carino takes an outside shot. Pero that's the mold of a lot of San Beda bigs.
Yeah.
They are tall, lengthy, but they can hit outside shots.
And agile din sila. I mean, they're quick on their light on their feet, I would say. And you can see Carino actually speeding up the floor with Noah.
Noah going straight to the basket. There was a foul given up by Alforque. It was way before the shot attempt, so sideline inbound na yan for San Beda.
You can see now itong si James Quecote coming in because siguro na-realize ni Coach Boyd Fernandez walang kasabay si Noah na bumababa sa fast break. That could have been a good transition attack, but Noah had to manage by himself. Quecote is a good wingman to support him in any transition or fast break attack.
Pero bago pa makaporma si Quecote, natawagan na ng offensive foul si Carino on the pick set. So it will be FEU basketball again, and dahan-dahan binabalik na ni Coach Boyd Fernandez yung kanyang main gunners. Yung front court niya that started for him back on the floor in Bahio, Tancua, and Quecote. It's just in the backcourt that he's still rolling with second unit guys in Abuda and Entrata.
But it's interesting na, Judd, pagpapansinin mo yung patterns ng both coaches, si Coach Olsen Racela, equal minutes yung ito, all he needs is to relieve his starting 5, get them enough rest, and then bring them back into the ballgame for San Beda.
And this is when kailangan kumapit ng FEU, you know, if they can weather the storm of the starters of San Beda, that can put them in an excellent position.
Pero you have to understand also na parang, syempre yung starters mo, mapapagod din kung kasabayan nila yung fresh legs lagi ng second unit and first unit of FEU.
Great defense there for Chuente. Alforque could not get the layup, but he'll take 2 freebies. This is another very promising rookie, no, in Royce Alforque. One of the standouts in high school.
I would agree with you, Judge. This
Look
was
at
a
that.
good defense. But look at that 4K. And we didn't show that in the replay. But isipin mo rin yung tandem na madadala ng LJ Gonzalez at Alforque na sabay tumatakbo na parehas malakas ang katawan at the same time, ganun din yung speed level nila.
Alforque though misses that first free throw. Marami nga rin talagang, kahit dito sa FEU, marami silang rookie. And I think baka mas marami pang rookie compared sa San Beda, at least from the guys na ginagamit today in this match. Bahio, off the glass, no good. Tancua, and this time, not to be denied.
Yung mga kagandahan dito kay Tancua because he's very actually active in the shaded area. You'd see na medyo hefty yung kanyang katawan. Pero mag-slow siya eh. He times his positions quite well. That's why he gets so many offensive rebounds. And kaya naman mataas ang second chance points ng San Beda. It's all because of him.
That would have been a highlight for Quecote if he got that jumper to fall.
Another offensive rebound by Donald Tancua.
He gets the ball back. Mid-range J, that's short. But another offensive rebound for San Beda.
Boxing out seems to be the problem because the FEU big men are helping out on the guards and defense. Hindi nila nababox out at nahahabol yung kanilang mga kailangan bantayan.
And look at that, another possession living up to the surname Abuda. France coming out of nowhere to secure that rebound. Labas kay Etrata, he stepped out of bounds. Pero grabe, no? Tatlong pagkakataon for San Beda. And every single time, wala lang talaga na-out-hustle lang, na-outsmart yung mga rebounders ng FEU.
And you gotta appreciate how San Beda is spacing the floor enough for their guys to actually go and dive to get the rebounds.
And I like this move from Coach Olsen, bringing in LJ Gonzalez, a very good rebounder for his size and for his position as well.
And Barkley Ebonia also from the weak side. If Twente is from the strong side, Ebonia is a good weak side player, and that proves our point.
Ayun yung dalawang binanggit nating pangalan, Gonzalez and Ebonia, conniving and connecting to score the deuce. That's 6 points para kay Ebonia. Kwekute, he loves these kinds of jumpers.
Wow, and that was challenged, well challenged by Ebonia, but Kwekute just one of those guys trying to fill in the shoes of that Bolik Mokon disappearance or departure from the team.
Here's Ebonia, nice drop step, pero solid yung depensa ng San Beda. That's going to be a dribbling violation. Chuente getting frustrated. Perhaps dahil hindi na napapasa yung bola sa kanya, but you know, his role in the team is really on the defensive end.
And Donald Contancua was actually helping out on itong sa depensa ni Bayo. And that's why Twente was asking for the ball, but hindi siya nakita ni Ebonia.
And JB getting that floater in.
Alam mo, hindi makadikit-dikit yung FE. You know, they'll mount runs, but San Beda will be able to weather it because of the just certain guys like Bayo and Kwekute just nailing it when it matters.
And that's a nice big-to-big connection between Ebonia and Chuente. Nelly initiating the horns action. He wants double high screens from Bayo and Nakua. Nelly will put it up. No good. Good box out naman para kay Tuffet. Stockton asking for it. Gonzalez natapikan mula sa likod pero may inabot si James Canlas. So it will be a foul on him. San Beda enters penalty.
They're back to their original starting five, Judd, with the entrance of Doligues.
We still have 2:59 remaining in the first half. Let's see what San Beda or FEU can come up with in this possession. Oh, kita-kita ni Bayo. Yung passing lane na yun. Kwekute could not handle it. Good hustle for Nunag, just not letting Kwekute get away.
And as we were talking about, Nunag is just great on the open floor. He's got a strong upper body that can compete against Kwekute, because Kwekute loves leaking out once the turnover or there's a defensive rebound. Look forward because Kwekute is already there.
Ebonia bigay kay Gonzalez. Two-man game. Barkley traveling dahil pagkatanggap niya nag-alangan siya dahil andun yung depensa ni Tangkua.
Medyo sunod-sunod na yung turnover ng FEU, not really getting any decent shot.
And things have slowed down here in the second quarter. We have a timeout. We'll be right back. Nabanggit mo na kanina, Juan, the departure of important players in JV Mokon and Robert Bolik. And, you know, while meron niyang mga stars na talagang ready to take over, ito, a couple of guys who are also getting ready for bigger roles in the team, Calvin Oftana and Evan Nelly.
Waiting to explode itong San Beda community. The highly anticipated of Tana and Nele. The contribution is not as much as they want and expected. It's not going to fill in the shoes yet of the two top guns that left. But it's good enough to show the potential because right now, the opportunity and the role is still up for grabs. But kahit papano, Nele, perfect facilitator for San Beda. And of course, Oftana, a potential Troy Rosario-like who can shoot from the outside and has got that long wingspan to go along with his athleticism.
Great escape for Bayo, but he could not complete the play. Kwekute from outside, wala pa rin, pero swinerte dun sa talbog ng bola.
Offensive rebound na naman.
Doliges still could not get anything, and Chuente says, tama na kayo.
Alam mo to si Patrick Chuente, he can actually have the upper hand against Donald Dancua because of his size advantage. If malagay lang siya ng FEU sa tamang pwesto ilalim underneath the basket, that's an easy 2 for him.
Ayun yung sinusubukan niya, pumwesto against Dancua. Ebonia out to Gonzalez. 3 on the shot clock. LJ lets it fly, no good. And look at Doliges steal that rebound away from Chuente. 1 here in the second quarter. These two teams really struggling. 6 and 9 pa lang. Ang scoring natin, 6-4 San Beda, 9 for FEU. So it has been a very slow second period.
We've got 1 minute remaining.
Dancua still not getting any.
You know, it's either they're really taking poor shots or ang ganda lang talaga ng depensa natin dito sa second quarter.
What would you say is the case?
I would say the defense stepped up. They've been taking good shots like that, shots like that by Doliges, but this time around, hindi natin nakita sa first quarter because it was challenged this time around by Patrick Chuente. So both teams actually respecting each other's offense. Pinakita na nila sa first quarter na kaya namin score. Aba, parehas naman. Maganda yung depensa na pinapakita.
Good decision for Ebonia. Initially to attack, pero nawalan siya ng espasyo. Nakita rin ng depensa, nag-hesitate si Barkley. San Beda, their offense not flowing as smooth as it did to open the game up. Nelly going inside to Dancua. He actually had the shot already, pero he decided to spin back, kaya na-frustrate si Evanelli. Possible last shot time for FEU. They can trim the deficit to a single possession. Nelly by himself. Pocket pass. The swing. Stockton comes up short. Doliges will miss that Hail Mary. And only 6 points for San Beda in the second quarter. Pero para rin naman sa FEU, only 9.
Sila pa nanalo dun sa second quarter in FEU. But again, I would credit that to both teams stepping up on defense, really shutting the door to any possible plays in the shaded area. So it's a highly offensive first quarter, a highly defensive second quarter in the first half.
reached the fold here inside the Filoil Flying V Center. Quarterfinals po tayo ng Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. San Beda up 25-21 over FEU. Jot sulit pa rin po kasama si Juan Banal and Miss Ira Pablo patrolling the sidelines. Juan, tell us what happened in the first half, please.
It's a completely different two-faced first half. You've got in the first quarter both teams pouring in the points. One team scored 19 while the other scored 12. But when the tides turned in the second quarter, both teams realized that we're giving up too many points, so let's try to play up our defense. And when that happened, both teams scored below 10. One team scored 9 while the other team only scored 6 in a quarter. That's 10 minutes of just 6 points. And it was interesting because there were a lot of bad shots but better defense shown in the second quarter.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights now from the first half. We'll see that San Beda got off to a very fiery start. 17-2 run. Juan, yung pinakawalan nila very early in the game.
You know, they were firing from all sides and spaces in the floor. Evanele opened that up with an outside shot. He's actually got 5 points, both from the perimeter. But Ken Tuffin trying to answer back, not really getting much help from the rest of the guys until their second bench players or second unit came in, who stepped up the pace. And Barkley Ebonia actually had to come off the bench once more after starting, and that's when he actually made better impact.
Yeah, yung una kasi ang daming turnovers ni Barkley when he first saw action, but he recovered and was able to produce 6 points, the most for any FEU player at this point. Pero Kwekute hit this tough jumper to buy more insurance for the Red Lions. And at the end of the first half, like we mentioned, it's a 4-point lead for San Beda. And these are the numbers that will paint the best picture we can from numbers of what happened in the first half.
FEU actually shooting better from the field, 36% with 9 out of 25 compared to San Beda, 10 out of 35. That's just 28% from the field. But when it comes to the shooting in the from the three-point line, San Beda naman is doing better, 3 out of 9, hitting already 3 three-pointers. Samantala tong FEU struggling from that area, making most of their shots in closer range. But the offensive rebounding, that second chance that San Beda is given, has put them in a better spot with a 4-point lead with the likes of Tana and Donald Tankua, and the turnovers of FEU hurting them also in the first half.
Here are the leading scorers, Kwekute and Ebonia leading their respective teams, but they've gotten support here and there. And you see naman, mababa yung mga production ng mga players. Well, we have a very low scoring affair right now. As we've been mentioning, ayun nga yung score on your screens, 25-21. And right now, Juan, I really feel like it's been extra possessions that's given the lead for San Beda, because number 1, they have 4 more rebounds, 7 more offensive rebounds, and then yun ding San Beda, yun ding FEU rather, has 5 more turnovers compared to the Red Lions. So that's at least 9 more possessions that the Red Lions were able to enjoy, and it's just a 4-point lead.
And FEU, we've noticed that etong San Beda is more used to moving within the shaded area, coming from the outside. Samantala tong FEU, more of their plays are coming from beyond the arc. The ball movement is also coming from beyond the arc, unless somebody actually drives to the basket and then dishes off. That's the only time. But if San Beda's playing good perimeter defense, then nahihirapan pumuntos ng FEU. Samantalang ang San Beda sa opensa naman, they really move the ball inside out. Donald Tankua gets the ball from the shaded area. Bayo gets the ball from the shaded area. And if that doesn't work, they've got good kick out. That's why naman si Kwekute was able to nail a couple of jumpers.
Some adjustments for these coaches, no, for our respective coaches. They are not starting the third quarter with their starting lineup back in the start of the game. Para sa FEU, ni-replace ni Bradley Bienes si Ebonia, and Bienes gets the early 2 points in the second half.
Kung nakascore ka lamang ng 9 points sa second quarter, parang gusto mong parang isang player kaya score na 9 points in 1 quarter, pero tayo as a team, just 9 points.
Well, for the side of San Beda, yan din yung napalitan. It was of Tana who started the third quarter, kasi no start ng game, si Bayo yung nag-start. And these guys showing why they deserve to be out here on the floor here to open up the second half.
In the second quarter, nahirapan din tong San Beda na to penetrate and give the ball to Tankua. Ang ganda ng help defense ni Chuente and ni Ebonia. But with Oftana on the floor, he can shoot from the outside. That's gonna force the big guys of FEU to spread the floor. So walang magiging help sa loob.
almost an N1 opportunity for Patrick Chuente, but he missed the shot. He'll take 2 free throws instead, and this also gives us a chance to go back to Ira.
When Coach Olsen talks about FEU's team's intactness, he says that it's there because they're all staying in the same dorm together with the FEU juniors team. So really they're familiar with each other. But in terms of being teammates, that's something that they work on as they progress to the season. But in terms of skills, building better leaders, the philosophy of the team, it's all improving for the FEU Tamaraws. But what Coach Olsen likes about this group most is that they keep competing, which explains kung bakit nakadikit yung FEU ngayon from a 17-2 start, guys.
Thank you, Ira. Oh, Juan, ang laking bagay no, for a team na dikit kayo off the court, you have that chemistry. Pero it also does not necessarily mean na porket close kayo outside the court, maganda agad ang laro nyo together. You always have to build that on-court chemistry.
Maganda rin yung sinabi ni Ira dun sa reporting about Coach Olsen. Sinabi niya, they're competitive also. Meaning, yes, they're friends off the court. They live and bunk together. Pero on the court, probably even in practice, they push themselves or push each other because syempre minuto mo din ang pinag-uusapan dyan, your ability to contribute. So it's a friendly competition amongst these players and they can afford it with the depth of the lineup of FEU.
A misconnection there. Stockton and Tuffin.
Diyan, pansinin mo, wala pa yung Comboy-Cani combination na pinag-usapan natin in the beginning of the game. It's been the other guys that have been contributing for FEU.
Ito ngayon, Tangkua trying to back down. Oftana hit one from there earlier. Calvin will get fouled on his way to the basket. "14 seconds on the shot clock. San Beda will retain possession. They're up by 7. Stockton taking that ball away, playing the passing lane very well. Tumatakbo ngayon ang FEU. They go to Bienes. One-hander doesn't go. Minadali yata ni Ray yung tira. And that's going to be out of bounds. Clint Doligue is losing control. It's going to go back to FEU.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I realized that Clint Doligas has to work on his game, it's the handles. We can see that he can shoot from the outside. He can also penetrate to the basket in a straight line, but being able to handle the ball better, that is something that when he improves, is going to be a difficult person to guard.
Interior defense of San Beda making it difficult for FEU, pero Stockton binutas yung depensa, sabay drop pass, Chuente with the deuce.
That's what we were talking about. If you're able to put Chuente at a very good spot underneath the ring, because of his height and his length, that makes his life so much easier to be able to produce and finish strong in the hole.
Did you see that move from Stockton?
Yeah.
Carrying that ball on the hop step. Tapos, syempre, nung nakalagpas siya doon sa primary defender, he got the attention of the help D, opening up that shot for Chuente.
You enjoy watching agile players who are very shifty on the ball, and Stockton is one of them.
Nelly, straight to the basket, gets it off the glass. Oh, and Gonzalez unaware. Oftana barrels in, put back no good. Third try, wala pa rin. Tuffin secures the board.
Oftana was already there, just missed that close range. But again, offensive rebound working for San Beda.
Tuffin na wala yung bola sa kanya. Great hands for Nelly. Twice already that he stole the ball away. Nelly trying to go fancy. Bibigay sana kay Kuntapay. And those two guys, if I'm not mistaken, they spent some time together with the San Beda Red Cubs. Kaya magkakilala talaga yan. Davey Kuntapay and Evan Nelly. Player substitutions for both teams. We'll check that for FEU. Alforque papasok for Gonzalez. Nunag also in for Alex Stockton. A foul is whistled. Looks like it's going to be on Joseph Nunag.
That was a blindside play by San Beda. You didn't expect that alley-oop play coming from James Quecote, but Nunag caught off guard, forced on a foul.
But Good day from outside, no. But there is another foul, this time on Ebonia. So the ball will still remain with San Beda. Here's Rodriguez. Clint. Wala sa kanya yung bola. Now it's taken by FEU. A chance for the Tamaraws here. And Tubman loses it. Nelly, stop and pop. Three ball is good.
Wow, Evanelli, that confidence in that pull-up three, John.
Confidence is definitely the key word there. Kasi kasabay niya tumatakbo, James Kwekute. But Nelly saying, you give me this opening, I'll take it. And he gives San Beda a 9-point lead. You're still watching the Filoil Flying V preseason tournament. Evanelli. He is making his presence felt here and in a big, big way, rising to be one of the key contributors of the San Beda Red Lions. You mentioned that his role in the team really primarily is a facilitator, but he's providing so much more here in this game.
That talks about the threat that he brings into the floor. Evanelli, 4 out of 6 from the field. Like I said, I enjoy seeing him as a facilitator, but he was able to pull up those surprise shots and nail them. That just opens up a whole lot of possibilities for the San Beda offense.
Comboy, he hasn't been on the floor for a while. Is back there now. And is grabbing that offensive rebound for FEU. Wendell, bigay muna kay Bienes. Reset ng opensa ang FEU. He's gonna be fouled by Kuntapay. Kuntapay will pick up his first personal foul. Alforque working against Nelly. Momboy and FEU just looking for options right now. Bumukas kay Nunag. Corner 3 is good.
Finally paying dividends sa kanilang ball rotation. Kanina pa nila hinahanap yung medyo yung butas dun sa rotation ng San Beda when they move the ball outside the three-point line, and Nunag draining one. Usually si Tuffin yung isang counterpart na dapat nakakashoot ng mga ganon, but unfortunately their outside shot quite not impressive. 1 out of 10 sila in the first half.
Nelly, a long bomb. He had to put it up. Shot clock was winding down. Tumatak mo ngayon si Nunag. Downhill, Joseph Nunag attacking the defense, drawing the foul.
Yung pinag-uusapan natin na si Nunag, favorite niyang open court attack eh.
So that will be the 4th team foul of San Beda. Practically in penalty na rin because the next foul will be sending an FEU player to the free throw line. This one, however, was in the act of shooting, kaya tumitira rin si Nunag. He got that first one. Joseph Nunag trims the deficit down to 4. 5 points for Nunag. About 4.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. There's Evanelli of Tana providing the pick. Bisikalan sa loob between Kuntapay and Ebonia. Of Tana, iwan kay Kuntapay, kulang sa pick.
Oh, and he knows it. But kanina pa yung underneath the basket stab ng San Beda that they keep missing, Judd.
But a foul is called on Ebonia. And will this be free throws? Yes, it will be dahil penalty na. Ang FEU, Coach Olsen Racele and Assistant Coach Eric Gonzalez complaining about that call. Medyo nahuli din kasi yung tawag, Juan eh.
Could have been a good stop. It looked like a good stop, but of course referees will call it regardless if it's delayed or not. But if there's contact, they will call it.
Oloftana gets 1 for 2. 5 ang lamang ng San Beda. Can FEU come closer? The handoff of Forque looking to attack. Comboy, bibitaw mula sa labas. Wendell will miss. Rebound taken by Nelly.
But 4 guys immediately sprinting down.
Nelly will miss. That was a heat check for him.
Probably an advice 3. Yes, he nailed one in the first half, but it's 0 out of 2 of that fast break 3-pointer.
And a long pass for Oftana, masyadong mataas. So it's a turnover for San Beda. Bola babalik sa FEU. But not before these substitutions made. Noah will check back in. Ang papalitan niya si Kwekute. Bayo will also replace Oftana. You know, I'm interested with that substitution pattern. No? It's either just Bayo or Oftana on the floor. And they're almost very similar players. Here's FEU. Sa ilalim, Nunang. Iwan kay Ebonia, who gets the 2-pointer in. Credit that pass for Nunang. 8 points for Ebonia. Nelly attacking. KK Kapay obviously fouled that time.
And ito si Ebonia seems to be having a hard time playing against a bigger guy.
Kuntapay looks like he's hurt. Mukhang tinamaan siya below the belt. Possibly inadvertent dahil yung bangga niya talaga straight into the defender. Celso will be replacing Ebonia now. Let's see kung paano siya natamaan doon. You see there, Ebonia. And Kutabay got hit. But he's okay. He's now taking 2 free throws. Made the first one.
And Nelly's been doing a great job. I mean, here in the second half, especially here in the third quarter, yung passing niya, being a facilitator, lumalabas, pero yung shot selection niya so far, not so ideal in this quarter.
That's 2 points now for Dami Kuntapay. 3 minutes and change left in the third period. Tuffin, bibitaw mula sa labas. Ken will miss. The 3-point shot, not working well for FEU in this game. Oh, look at the Tamaraos hustle. And that's going to be a foul on Bayo. 2 free throws for Tuffin. They say if you work hard, you get rewarded. That is a prime example.
And I think Bayo made a wrong decision of not boxing out Ken Tuffin. And Bayo was waiting for the ball to fall in his hands. Unfortunately, Ken Tuffin immediately identifying that and also nakisawsaw doon and was trying to grab for the ball. And in the process was able to get a foul from Bayo.
So Tuffin got that first free throw in. He has 1 more. 3 points only. Now 4 points for Ken Tuffin. And if you're Coach Olsen Racela, alam mo na balance yung scoring ng team mo, pero in knockout games like this, you may want more from Ken Tuffin.
And I think generally you want someone to step up. If everyone's saying that, pwede na, hindi naman mainit, meron namang ibang iinit, ganyan naman ang klase ng play namin dito sa FEU. But when push comes to shove, somebody will have to take on that mantle. And FEU right now is still waiting for that guy to explode.
Noah with a beautiful find. Spotting Kuntapay for the easy 2. That's That's a foul. Tulak mula kay Bayo. That will be 2 free throws. Oh, it's Kuntapay who gets called for it. Third foul na ni Kuntapay, and what's worse, ito yung magandang pasa ni Noah. Tatlong defender yung na-draw niya, kaya libreng-libre na si Kuntapay. Tuffin could not get that first free throw. He has one more, pero obviously with how closely contested this game has been, after makabalik ng FEU from that 7-2 start, 17-2 start ng San Beda, well, you know, these free throws, these misses, they can haunt you after the game.
And you can't seem to get it going. Parang painit ka na, pero dahil nabimintis ka din, nanlalamig ka rin bigla.
Bayo a bit reckless that time. Comboy breaking down the defense. Wala, but look at that. Alforque rising high for the tip-in.
Nobody was able to get down. San Beda, 2 players were down on the floor, and FEU seeing that, pounced on that opportunity. That was a good fast break attack.
Dalawa na lang hinahabol ng FEU. San Beda looking to buy more insurance. Nelly against Celso. He has speed advantage. Difficult shot, doesn't go. Not the best option for them. Alforque barrels in. Wala. Rebound taken by Tuffin. Ken nabigay kay Royce. Now Celso. He will shoot free throws. Noah saying, I'm not about to give anything easy.
You see the problem here with the San Beda offense. When Nele becomes offensive-minded, the ball doesn't seem to be moving around anymore. At parang walang nangyayari sa opensa ng San Beda. He's been technically taking more shots here in the third quarter that are ill-advised, and the rest of the guys are not and are robbed of that opportunity. And I think that's why James Huecote is now on the floor.
So Celso with a chance to tie things up from the free throw line. Pasok yung una niyang free throw. 90 seconds remaining in the third period. FEU has not enjoyed the lead, nor has tied the game, and that continues to be the case with Celso missing that second. Penuela. He will direct the offense. Noah will get fouled. And Noah is just using his strength. And obviously, no, kita naman natin sa katawan niya pa lang na he's a lot stronger than most of the players of FEU on the floor right now.
That was quick movements also in the post with his back against the ring.
Pero kulang sa lakas naman yung free throw niya. The score remains to be 40-39. It's a 1-point lead for San Beda.
Free throws for FEU has reached already to 11 attempts. They've made 7. Samantalang itong free throw ni Noah, that's just the 6th attempt in the third quarter. It's 4 as a whole, 4 out of 6 atong San Beda.
Back to a 2-point lead for San Beda. Tuffin facing up, looking for an option. Comboy against Noah. The defender is down. Comboy could not get the 3. Rebound, Huecote.
The outside shooting of FEU is offline in this ball game.
Extra pass, Noah is fouled by Celso. FEU in really disagreeing with that call. Yung buong bench nila napatayo. But that will be the second foul on Daniel Celso. Noah will extend the San Beda lead. 43.6 seconds left in the third period. He goes 1 for 2, and it's tough in getting that rebound. So still a one-possession ball game. Lamang pa rin ang San Beda, now by 3 points. And now we're tied up.
Wow, Wendell Comboy finally nailing one after so many misses. When it matters, That's when he made it. We've got a tied ball game in our hands.
Yan naman si Wendell Comboy. He will not shy away from looks that defenses give him.
Regardless
Noah.
if he's missing the whole game, you know?
And this could be a steal for FEU. Bodies on the floor. It's a jump and possession will stay with San Beda.
They've been giving Noah the opportunity to score over and over. This time around, FEU adjusting to that, was able to collapse on Noah.
There's 5.5 seconds left in the game clock. And that's what San Beda has to work with. Penuela nahirapan sa inbound. Bayo against Bienes. Bayo the spin to the baseline. Couldn't get the layup. And that will be the end of the third period. FEU climbing back from a 15-point deficit they faced back in the first quarter to tie the game up. And it was a lot of back and forth action here in the third quarter.
Turnovers still hounding them in the third quarter. Those shot selections, Evanelli, after nailing that three-pointer, sort of missed a couple of shots which hindered the ball movement of San Beda. But the rest of the guys stepping up, FEU just lurking around and at the right moment striking with that Wendell Comboy 3 to tie up this ball game.
And we have one full quarter remaining. 42 all tayo. Sinong mag-a-advance? We'll find out in just a bit. Quarterfinals of the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Tournament. John Sulit, Juan Banal, and Ira Pablo delivering the game to you here on 5+. But these lovely faces enjoying the action inside the Filoil Flying V Center in San Juan. And we'd like to invite you dahil sunod-sunod na rin po yung mga laro natin, of course. After today, we'll have the semifinals and the finals. And we'd love for you to join us here in San Juan for live action. Iba pa rin yung nararamdaman. At alam ko naririnig nyo yung drums when you're watching on TV. Pero yung maramdaman mo yung dagugdong.
Yep.
That's a different feeling.
You know, FEU outscoring itong San Beda in the last two quarters. In the second quarter, it was 9-6 in favor of FEU, and in the third quarter, 21-17, which has brought whatever lead that San Beda has gained in the first quarter. Wala na po yun. Back to zero. Fresh start na naman tayo dito sa fourth quarter.
Torres did not hit anything on that three-point attempt. Here's a chance for San Beda. They're going with Noah, Quecote, Oftana, Penuela, and Bayo to start the fourth quarter. Kanina sabi natin either Oftana or Bayo ang nasa sahig. This time they're sharing the floor.
FEU actually pressuring the ball all the way the other side to backcourt pala.
Quecote will miss. Offensive rebound taken by Noah. Looking to go. Noah steps back. Opts for the three-pointer. That doesn't work. And he got quick reminders mula kay Coach Boyet Fernandez. Ayun, babalik na si Melly. And Tangkua as well. Maaga siguro pinagsisiyan ni Noah yung tira niyang yun dahil nilabas agad siya. But as Coach Boyet Fernandez brings back the big guns, ganun din ang ginawa ni Coach Olsen, Chuente, Comboy, LJ Gonzalez, Bienes, and Cyrus Torres on the floor for him. Comboy. Quecote beating him. We're all tied up. Can FEU take their first lead of this game? Comboy binigay kay Bienes. It's a foul on Doligues, and that bails FEU out. There were only 4 seconds remaining on their shot clock.
And yun yung mga tipong mid-air, mapapaisip ka, tama ba itong gagawin ko? Or sige na nga, itutuloy ko na nga. And Doligues risking that swipe, but further on called for a foul.
Trying to bigay kay Comboy. There's another foul here. Nelly will be called for it, holding foul as he was chasing LJ Gonzalez. 8.5 minutes remaining in the game. Ira, what do you have?
Guys, since arriving from the States, San Beda already got a total of 5 straight wins, pero galing din sunod-sunod na panalo itong FEU, so familiarity is out of San Beda's advantages. But for Coach Boyet, they're going against a different FEU today. Dagdag pa ni Coach Boyet, they can't win today if they fight with offense of the FEU with the likes of Kani and Ebonia. Hindi sa offense sila lalaban. The only way they can get a win today is if they show better defense than FEU, guys.
Thanks, Ira.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because it's been firepower after firepower, points after points ang nagiging labanan. But, you know, FEU and their ball movement a little bit hampered because of San Beda, but that was a good knockout play. Very simple, basic. If you're Coach Olsen Marcel, it's something you're not going to be happy about.
And the key there was the cross screen. Talagang dumikit yung depensa and was sucked out of position. Gonzalez iwan sana kay Chuente. Once again, you know, these turnovers committed by FEU, they have taken away chances for the Tamaraws to gain advantage in this game. Coming up on 8 minutes left in the ball game. Nelly kontra kay Gonzalez. Evan asking for a pick. He goes cross court. Ball reversal. Oftana now will attack from the wing. Iwan kay Takua, who comes up short. Nelly. 3 ball is good. 13 points for that young man.
And Oftana just fighting for the boards there. Another offensive rebound and turnovers of FEU just hurting them. And San Beda taking advantage of these plays. Like, take a look at this rebound by Oftana, getting them another opportunity. And Nele did not disappoint.
These turnovers of FEU, hindi lang natatanggalan ng pagkakataon ang Tamaraws to score. It also gives a lot of opportunities for San Beda.
So imagine that you're giving second chance opportunities and then you're turning the ball over and giving San Beda another chance in a quick and longer time to manage their possession. So FEU really a little bit self-destructing at this point.
On the rebound play, a foul will be called on San Beda. Now, what has been happening? I'm seeing some nice movements dun sa opensa ng FEU. It's just that shots have not been falling for them. And then San Beda has been limiting them to one-and-done possession. So it's become hard for FEU to come up with points.
And yun yung init. Kumbaga hindi ka makabuelo-buelo kasi you're being hounded by turnovers. And then it's frustrating and it gets to your head when they're able to get another opportunity through offensive rebounds.
Ebonia has to put it up. And look at that. The shot that went in, hindi man magka-count because it came after the shot clock expired. And that's just tough luck for FEU.
This is all now boiling and slowly percolating in this frustration bowl of FEU. And San Beda just being steady about it, not really you know, being too fancy about situations. Just whatever is presented to them by FEU, they grab it.
A foul called on Gonzalez. And sayang talaga itong mga turnovers because FEU is in an excellent position to get a win over San Beda right now. Becote, labas kay Oftana, lines up a 3, doesn't go. That's going to be a foul on Nelly, climbing over the back of Gonzalez. Only his second personal foul, but that is already the fourth team foul of San Beda. With 6 and 23 remaining in the fourth, that could be an opening, an opportunity for the FEU Tamaraws.
Alam mo, sa opensa ng San Beda, ang bihira makahawak ng bola ngayon, si Kwekutey, ha?
Gonzalez, lalabas sana. Kwekutey with a steal, Stockton. Doliges wanted to go for the highlight jam. And Coach Boyet Fernandez saying there was either goaltending or a foul. Actually, Stockton did not get the block, but he challenged and changed. Kumbaga pinag-alangan niya lang.
You saw it a mile away na si Stockton. Buhay-buhay na siya. Kala mo ibibigay niya, but biglang, look at him. He was looking up there in the air. I don't think there was a foul there.
But Kwekutey coming up with something on a second chance for San Beda. He drains a jumper and extends their lead to 7 points. A shade under 6 minutes remaining in this game. Timeout, FEU. Back to the action inside the Filoil Flying V Center. Quarterfinals na ng Filoil Preseason Tournament. At makikita nyo, dalawa na yung pumasok na teams. LPU defeating CEU earlier. And prior to that, Adamson overcoming San Sebastian. So ang inahanap natin, sino yung makakalaban ng Adamson? Will it be San Beda or FEU? And then we have one more game after this. It's gonna be LaSalle versus Letran.
It's been interesting, you know, I'm just awed in the level of competition here in the quarterfinals and in this game alone. I mean, you've got two top caliber schools from two different leagues, and they are definitely competing.
Stockton absorbing a lot of contact there. Alex Stockton, once nakabuelo siya on his way to the basket, he has a lot of moves at mahirap din talagang pigilan.
And he doesn't even need enough space. I mean, he could squeeze in through two different guys with those hop steps.
The one thing that's been haunting FEU are their misses from the free throw line. Second one. It's good. Nelly, magbababa ng bola ngayon. It's Thompson time. Oh, Evan kicks it out. Dominguez wide open. Nothing there though. And Chuente getting that rebound. A golden opportunity for FEU, but they turned the ball over. Nelly asking for a foul. Nahataw yata siya ni Ebonya. Pick and roll play, Nelly and Tankua. Donald Tankua with the flex.
You gotta appreciate, this is when you appreciate Nelly facilitating more than scoring. Look at that pass, his entry pass to Tankua. Look, that was so tight but still made it. The timing of Evan Nelly's passing, just his court vision as well.
Yeah, one yung pagkakapwesto rin ng pasa eh. Saktong-sakto. He knew that ang gustong gawin ni Tankua was go for that drop step spin. And the pass was placed perfectly for that move.
Kaya na-frustrate siya pag hindi nasusunod ng mga kakampi niya kasi parang pinadali ko na yung buhay mo, pinasa ko kung saan mas madali ka makakascore.
Chuente, hand off to Stockton. FEU has been silent on offense. Alforque with 2 to shoot. Royce Alforque not getting anything. That's going to be a shot clock violation. And Coach Olsen Racela extremely frustrated right now. Nothing happening on the offensive side for the Tamaraws. You're left to wonder at this point, Juan, when do you see Hubert Cani back on the floor?
It's interesting, no? Hindi ba siya nababalik talaga na isa sa mga inaabangan natin yan. You know, I understand Evan Nelly trying to take those shots just so that it can give the defense a different look. But right now, he's more efficient in distributing and creating rather than taking those shots.
FEU still with a lot of time to work with. 4 minutes on the game clock. Ebonia called for an offensive foul. And FEU now erupting in frustration.
It's mounting, it's mounting. They can't seem to get a decent shot. And like what Ira reported, take a look at this defense. Bayo just timing it and that extra shove of Barkley Bonya. So it's a defense really, like what we said, Ira said, defense will help us beat FEU, and that's what they've been showing now.
Pero kitang-kita dun sa play na yun. Kasi bago pa siya dumikit dun sa depensa ni Bayo, nakapwesto na nakapwesto na yung siko niya.
And Bayo probably reading that too well.
Yep.
Sold that offensive foul.
Quick day jumper does not work. Comboy. Wendell Comboy will likely try to take charge here also for FEU. It has to be someone. And finally, we're seeing the return of Hubert Cani for FEU. Hey Juan, we know Hubert Cani, his ability to really change the complexion of a game. He has 3.5 minutes to do so, to try and give life back to FEU.
It's going to be interesting, this combination of Comboy Cani. Kanina pa natin inihintayan, finally seeing it in action. But they're trying to set up Comboy now to be more of a designated scorer.
Tough in the Bibitaw. 3-ball doesn't work. Cani will also be assigned to guard Nelly. And a foul will be called on Hubert. He will send Evan Nelly to the free throw line. It has been a very tough outing for FEU in trying to chase and limit the production of Evan Nelly. Kasi you're right, no? He's been giving the defense so many different looks. Whether it's him pulling up in transition for a three-pointer, him dishing out that leather to teammates, or, you know, just him making things happen, whatever it is.
You know what's interesting now? This is what's put into question. Itong San Beda established na ni Coach Boyd Fernandez yung kanang starting 5, finishing 5, dependable 5. Who do I go to? I relieve them if they need to rest. But for FEU, katulad nga na sinabi natin, equal distribution of points, equal distribution of minutes. Ang problema dyan, kanino ka aasa? But this guy, you mentioned, John, sat out the second quarter, the third quarter, most of the fourth quarter, and then coming to life with that foul-counted shot. The veteran in Cani is coming out in that play, but who do you depend on? If everyone doesn't get enough minutes to actually explode, then who do you depend on when you need somebody to take over?
At yun yung responsibilidad na binibigay ni Coach Olsen kay Hubert Cani, who completed a three-point play. And like we said, yung main goal niya ngayon, resuscitate FEU. They are down by 6. Timeout called by San Beda. Back to the action in the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup. Quarterfinals na po tayo. Knockout games from here on out. FEU trying to fight back dahil kaharap nga nila the still undefeated San Beda Red Lions. 7-0 and San Beda top Group A. Ang FEU naman 5-2, number 4 sa Group B. Kaya nung nag-crossover sila ang nagkatapat. It's a 6-point game favoring San Beda. Judd Sulit, Juan Banal, and Ira Pablo on the call for this one.
Ano ba, Judd, if FEU will look back at this game, if there's any statistic that will jump out of the sheet, it's the turnovers. San Beda, 9 turnovers in this ballgame. FEU, 21 turnovers. Almost doubling that of San Beda's.
Really, the extra possessions doing so much in this game. But here's a possession for FEU. Can they come up with something good? Comboy. Working against Quecote. 9 on the 24. Chuenta providing the pick for Kani. That ball tapped. Another turnover. Nelly with a fake pass and the finish. How big has Evan Nelly been in this ball game? Offense, defense, assisting in scoring, finishing in transition. Look at that. Pulling the defense and then going in for the 2. It's back to an 8-point lead for San Beda. San Beda, ang daming mga veterano, ang daming mga players na subok na, but it's this young man who has proven so much in the high school scene. Dito sa pag-angat niya sa college, he's a sophomore and he's showing na kayang-kaya niya pa rin dalhin kung ano yung naging performance niya back with the Red Cubs.
Alam mo yung 4 assists is an understatement, I would say. The way he facilitates the team, the control in offense, the maturity that he shows, he's been tremendous in this ball game.
Homeboy missing again. Transition attack. Quecote finishing. It's a 10-point lead for San Beda. More and more, it looks like they're gonna be the ones challenging Adamson if FEU cannot muster up something big here. Bienes almost stepping along the sideline. Tingnan mo yung hirap na binigay ng San Beda defense. Bienes had to dribble out from inside, palabas. And wow, Tuffin just working a miracle there.
Wow, what a bailout shot by Tuffin. But the defense, like what you said, Judd, I would have to re-emphasize, they were just staying in front of every man of FEU. Not a good vision of the ring.
Quecote attacking, stopped by Chuente. FEU has to go quickly. Tuffin, no go. Doliguez getting that rebound. And good decision for Nelly to slow things down a bit. Use that clock wisely. He has Tuffin in front of him. They go to the post. Tankua. Donald Tankua was fouled before the shot attempt. Pero since FEU is in penalty, 2 free throws pa rin.
Donald Tankua and his footwork, that drop step, identifying the Chuente, probably slower in lateral movement. And he didn't even have to contribute that much in offense because every other guy did. Quecote did. Itong si Nele, of course, leading the pack of Tana, started slow, but ended up in the second half contributing more. Bayo was the first option also in the first half in the power forward position for San Beda.
11 points now for Donald Tankua. And this next free throw could be the one that seals this win for San Beda. about half a minute remaining. It will put the lead up to double digits. Tangkua does that. 58-48. Ilalabas na rin ni Coach Olsen si Patrick Chuente. And like you said, defense. The turnover count particularly of FEU, yun talaga ang naging biggest factor in this game.
Now the FEU is going small and trying to speed up the lineup just to force turnover after turnover.
A foul is whistled. It looks like it is gonna be on Donald Tangkua. At magiging dalawang free throw. Oh, check that, no. They say it's an offensive foul. So it will not be 2 free throws.
And that's why Coach Olsen said was asking for a loose ball foul rather than an offensive foul. Para it will put them in the line. 24 seconds. It's just 7 points. If they can nail a 3 here, it could change the complexity of the game.
Yeah, you know what? This is a big, big break for FEU. Let's see what they get. Ebonya tumanggap. The pass back to Comboy. A blocking foul on Dolinguez. And with less than 4 seconds chipped away from the shot clock or from the game clock, pupunta sa free throw line itong si Comboy with a chance to trim the deficit down to 5. Let's see what he's able to get here. Comboy has 6 points.
He's erupted here in the fourth quarter. He nailed a 3 a while ago, and now he's trying to make big shot free throws. Just trying to trim it down.
Oh, but he missed the second, and that's going to be a foul on Ebonya. Fouling Oftana. He will send Calvin Oftana to the free throw line. Oftana saying he was choked by Ebonya. And that's going to be 2 free throws for Oftana. Let's hope we get to have another look at that.
Yeah,
Kung
I mean,
ano nga yung nirereklamo ni Oftana.
No, Oftana was saying he was choked. So
Yun
he was
nga eh.
asking for like a flagrant foul. Because on the way down itong si Ebonya, he kind of latched onto kay Oftana. But he's going to get the free throws nonetheless.
Yeah, yun malinaw na loose ball foul because it was coming off the missed free throw and they were battling for the rebound. Ito yung nangyari. Oh. So you'll see on the left side of your screens, Ebonya and Oftana nagkakabuhol na. Parang meron niya
Yeah, may
yatang
hawak
split
sa kaliwa.
second
Yeah,
na parang
may kapit si Barkley Ebonya on his left hand.
nonetheless, Oftana calmly sinking those free throws. And that's going to be a win for San Beda, or any miracle for FEU, because that's what they're going to need now, facing a 3-possession deficit with under 20 seconds to go.
Oh,
And San Beda will just waste away the time. FEU, despite a gallant stand here in the quarterfinals, pinahirapan din talaga nila itong San Beda. Got close to delivering the first defeat of the Red Lions, but in the end just fell short.
in the half, I think that was a good conversation led by Coach Boyd Fernandez. In the first half, their scoring was, especially in the first quarter, their scoring was tremendous. But I think in the halftime, Coach Boyd reminded his boys that we're going to only win this ball game if we play good defense, and that's exactly what they showed here in the fourth quarter, limiting itong FEU, prevailing with an 8-point lead.
60-52 is our final score. We'll talk more about this game when we return. You're back with us in the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup in San Beda, advancing to the semifinals with a 60-52 win over FEU. And there were so many players who obviously stepped up. Ganun naman yung style talaga nitong San Beda Red Lions. But there was one man who stood the tallest among them all.
Evan Nele producing early baskets for San Beda, and at the same time the facilitating ability of this young rookie or this young guy was definitely a highlight for his maturity in this league.
Absolutely, no? He was in full control dun sa takbo ng San Beda. Look at that. Even coming up with highlight plays, mga transition three-pointers, that fake pass leading to that layup, and Evan is now with Ira.
The Red Lion, who was all over the court with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Evan Nelly. Evan, paano kayo bumalik sa depensa para makuha yung panalo nyo ngayon?
Well, we got motivated by coach because he made us put more effort on defense, and then as a team, we're a defensive team, so that's our specialty.
Entering the semifinals, you'll be facing a strong team also. Adamson, paano nyo paghahandaan yun?
Coach France is a really good coach. Adamson's a really good team. Coach Boyd knows what to do now, so we're just gonna trust in him.
Evan, the people you want to say hi to?
Hello to all the Bedans who watched, to my family. Thank you. Sana we win this championship.
All right, congratulations to you, Evan. Guys?
Thank you, Ira, and congratulations to Evan, our best player of this game. So ito na po ang ating updated playoff bracket. Juan, ando na ang San Beda.
So yung isang side natin, kompleto na yung cast natin, San Beda and Adamson. Ang isa na lang natin na inaabangan, of course, LPU beating CEU in the previous match. And now this, the game at hand in the next game would be San Juan de Letran versus the De La Salle Green Archers.
Yun na nga ang magkukumpleto sa ating playoff cast. It's gonna be De La Salle versus Letran in the next game. And Juan and I, with Ira, will also be back to bring you more of the 2019 Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup, only here on 5+.